Greetings and salutations, I'm Kev. Welcome back to this Let's Play of Predynastic Egypt. We're messing about in the little town of Hierakonpolis, trying to succeed. We're gonna finish exploring the map in a couple of turns. Yeah, the flag stars are now neutrals to us, that's good. Were you willing to trade food? You're an authority tribe, Well, I'm gonna make you friendly. We'll keep building things. I'm still not gonna build more pops in case we find someone. And we're gonna try to integrate ourselves with these tribes. Wait a second, you're authority. Interesting, I might actually trade with you for a while. These two I need to integrate at some point. We'll get to that. Nothing in that area. Dang, it was over there. Okay, build grain of field of grain, area 4. Still on one of those. I think I want to go for classes. Buildings. We can build the last field of flax. And these things we need more tech in order to do. Yeah, field of grain, we need to remove the tribe to the north of the city. Okay. And then we're going to the tribe west of the city. So we're going to build that second field of flax, I guess. Keep building. 100 food now. That's west, that's north. So give them a gift. There were no friendly tribes, which only surprised me. So let's see, the next trial is in turn 61. We're gonna have 6 food times 9. 6 times 9 is, oh, mathematics. My head hurts. 54. 54 food, that's not gonna be enough. For what I have in mind. Okay, finish the whole area. One time 200% culture, or 200 culture. And the next one, the emergence of the nobility. A tribe's growing and ruled by one man is becoming more and more difficult, so you need a special stratum of society which can take some of the power into their own hands and rule the people from their glory of Horus. Goal, discover primitive army and train 500 soldiers. And for the duration of this, we're going to have a growth of culture and warriors for every turn. And we also get access to the main map when we find production. More production. Right now I need food. But again, we have access to the Egypt map now. So we can start exploring Egypt if we want to. It's not really a high priority. At least not yet. We can go all the way up to this culture here. At this point. This requires classes, so we need this anyway. Okay. Let's discover that. The rise of the family. Some families have worked hard for the benefit of the tribe for generations and have earned a high position in society for themselves. A grateful people respected them immensely and brought gifts. Who were they? Priests? Craftsmen? Or farmers? I'm going to go with the priests, as that gives us some authority, and that's pretty much what I'm going for in this game. I'm trying to amass as much authority as at all possible. It seems the gods themselves speak by their mouths. Their predictions are always exact, their mighty prayers remove the strongest curses, and people from all over the region come to them for the help. It's much more culture gain now, which is good. And discovered classes. With the surplus of food and resources, rich and prosperous families appeared. They earned the respect of the people by their deeds and gradually began to pass their privileges and wealth to their children by inheritance. That's how the aristocracy came into being. Allows to build buildings with animals, growth +1 at 30 every turn. So we got something new to build, which we are going to do. Still nervous about the next trial. The last field of flax has been built. Let's see, in order to build this we need rectangular houses, and we need that in order to build... And where are the barracks? All the way up here. Yes, we need the rectangular houses tech. And we need to get rid of the tribe in order to get that done. And I kind of want to trade them with food until the next trial has passed. At any rate, we have a new text we can discover. I can't build a simple barracks until I have the houses though, so there's no point in going quite so far, I think. Cancel all current attacks. Interesting. I'm gonna go with the rectangular houses that we needed. So, discover that. Okay, we need this one first. Start construction. Again, the next trial requires food, so... Finish the flax field. Rectangular houses. In search of greater comfort, the Egyptians began to build rectangular houses. They were sturdier and more spacious, and it was possible to cook inside and even have furnishings. Such houses are built even now. Well, 6,000-year-old architecture. Hasn't failed yet, I guess. Do I want to switch around these? No, I still need the food. And we're trading a fair bit of production just to make these tribes like us. There we go. Flax flour are now friendly. And there we go. 5 turns before the trial, the exodus from the Sahara. And we really need to step up our food production now. See what we can do. So 5 turns, another 50 food, that's 186 food, and we need even more food. In which case I might have to go with this boats, because I need the food. At least I think I need the food. Let's go with boats. Spending their lives by the river, Egyptians noticed that reeds float perfectly on water. They bound reeds into large, dense bundles and could cross the river or go fishing while standing on them. That's how they made their first boats. 1 time plus 10 food and more food from fishing, so that tile is now pretty good. Still ain't gonna invest into the cults. Fish tribe are now friendly. Good. And we have a first negative event. Oh, and it's one of those really ugly ones. Arg! We can drive them away. That's gonna cost us 2 population, which is really painful. Or we can lose food for 8 turns, which is also painful, but not quite as much. That's gonna cut our food. Wait, 1 per turn, it said. Oh, that's right, because... Oh, I missed the event. That's 1 for all the fields. Ouch, that's actually considerably worse. Considerably worse. We have to switch you over to fishing at the very least. And you... we can't trade for food from any... This is the only food tribe, sadly, and that field is no worse than this. And the rest will just have to go on. Dang it. How much food am I gonna have then? I'm gonna have not enough. Damn it. Damn it. So yeah, they were real screwed by a random event. Yay. And population +4, great. And now we can build a cemetery, or we can keep building houses so we can get up the simple barracks. Can't build those yet though, so I'm gonna go with the simple cemeteries, I think. First. Though, at this point I'm rather desperate for food. Are there any 2 food tiles left? There aren't. Huh. Turn 58, so that's 9, that's 3, 60, 59, 60, 61, 3 turns. That's gonna bring us to 196 food, which is gonna be 4 food short. So I need more food. You. And you. This is rather desperate, but I'm gonna do that anyway. Now we should have enough food. Even with the possessed hippos. At least I think I need about 200 food. I'm not quite sure, to be honest. The next tech is going to be the primitive army. I think we need to start our army. So I'm going to delay that. And next turn is the trial. So there we go. The beginning of the drought in the Sahara. Around 4000 BC, the Sahara began to turn from savanna into desert. The dying earth forces indigenous peoples to leave their homes and wander in search of water. Some of the refugees come to our lands. The exodus from the Sahara has begun. So there are a couple of things we can do. We can reform, which is certainly what we're going to do. Change society. Let's see. Crowds of refugees are constantly coming from the Sahara, but we have no additional houses and no work for them, and we cannot take them all. The inflow of refugees is rising, and this could lead to disaster. Goal: reduce social tension to 0. Social tension is 75 out of 100, and growing by 5 every turn. Probability of unrest is 20%. Turns before anarchy, 10 turns. The first thing we're going to do is reform. Change society to patriarchy by 1 month. Yeah, there we go. Basically, you just do a one-time payment of authority, and you reduce the unrest immediately, and you gain extra population limit for the rest of the game, so that's kind of useful. You can only do it once, though. Patriarchy. Growth of the tribe has led to overpopulation, the value of human life fell, the cult of power and the appreciation of the weak appeared. Oppression of the weak appeared. The situation was changed by the social reforms. The man has become the head of its family, and a full-fledged member of society, and the woman has begun to serve him. It has reduced comfort for the majority, but has allowed society to develop further. Okay, all these things there. So now we get back to the Exodus event. We are going to try to assimilate, which is going to cost a lot of food. We should have 200 food now, which should be sufficient. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. We successfully coped with the inflow of refugees. Our society stood and became stronger, and these changes will help us during the creation of the future state. Trial passed successfully. Gold victory. Additional bonus. 160 culture, 40 authority, and that's that. Okay, and that should also have done what I was seeking to do, namely get an achievement. At any rate, now we can shift our people back to more productive jobs, I guess. You're gonna go here and build. We're gonna keep trading. You are gonna spend hammers. Actually, no, you're not gonna do that. And you're not gonna trade food anymore. First, we're gonna try to unite the tribes here. As that's gonna cost production for 5 turns. That's 45 production for unification. That's gonna cut our production down quite significantly. I'll go there and worship him for authority. And now we're gonna start growing our tribe again. And we also have way more discoveries. This is very useful, Amratian culture, as is the primitive army. So what do I want to go for first? I'm gonna need the army in order to actually beat the guys to our north. So I think I'm gonna do that. Just so you have the ability to build the darn thing. Discovered primitive army. The increasing number of external and internal enemies, in addition to a surplus of resources, led to the appearance of professional warriors. They were engaged in the protection of the settlement and submitted directly to its leader, executing his orders, which could range from suppressing a rebellion to digging a ditch. So now we can build the barracks. We're still enduring that horrible, horrible hippo thing. More discoveries. Cheaper buildings or more hammers? I think I want to wait for Emiratian culture. Right now we're kind of hurting for food. And I want that first, so we can grow our tribe. We have way more cap than we need. Need to fill in those with workers. And there we go, the desertification of the Sahara. The climate becomes drier and colder and leads to the desertification of our land. Our prayers to Horus do not bring the desired result. Losses 2 food and hammers every turn. So we're going to have a reduced yield. That event we can't stop, it's going to happen no matter what. So even if you pass the trial of the desertification, you're still going to suffer the consequences. Now the next trial should be around turn 87 or so, I think. Yeah. So we have plenty of time for that one. There we go. Cemeteries, which are rather nice. Okay, tech. We're gonna go with Emiratian culture, I think, so we can get the food and production we need. We built the cemetery. Yes, we need to keep building rectangular houses though, in order to get through the barracks. So that's next. This tribe is going to unite with us in 2 turns. And then we can start shifting our workers around a bit. I think... I'll stay there and fish until the crisis is over, which is next turn. There we go, cemetery for commoners. We want those cemeteries worked, but I can't do that right now, I don't have the people. Emiratian culture. After the Badari culture, hundreds of years passed, and the Egyptians made considerable progress in cultural development. There were various forms of ceramic vessels with the first paintings. That was the Emiratian culture, also known as Nakara one. Okay, now the darn hippo thing is over. Thank goodness for that. These guys are going to stop fishing. And we're going to start working some of these tiles. Especially that one. I would like to work this one too, but kinda need the hammers. No, I need the culture and authority too, so yeah. We're going to go with that. There should be an event for extra people soon. We'll see. The growing number of cities. Great drought at the end of the 4th millennium BC has led to increased population density around bodies of water and to the emergence of a large number of cities in the Middle East and Egypt. In Mesopotamia, such cities were Uruk and Ur, and in Egypt, Ombos, Thinis, Hierakonpolis, Diaspolis, and Pathiris. Okay. Now again, our goals are still to establish the chiefdom, which we can't do until turn 89 anyway. And this one, which requires us to have a primitive army, and we definitely do have that long before. Oh! Uniting with the goat tribe, that's nice. Our envoys were able to negotiate a cooperation with them. The people of the goat tribe are ready to join together with us and take our goats as their own. Now we are 1 time plus 1 population. Goat tribe disappears from the map. And the breeding of the Sahara, which is another event. Abundant rain waters the savannah and it has blossomed. The rejuvenated Sahara shines green and it's full of living creatures. Hunting, gathering, farming and cattle breeding +1 for 4 turns. Which means, of course, now we're going to get extra food from those tiles. And we even have enough to grow the population. It's still quite a few turns until we need the extra food, so we're going to do our best to grow our population now while we can. I might just try to take advantage of this breeding event as much as possible. Only +3 food tiles. No. As much as I want production, I want all this food. It's only going to last 4 turns. More dwellings. +1 hammer in all those areas. Next up, we can build the pastures, or we can go to the simple barracks. And I think we need to get the barracks up and running. So I'm gonna build it. Oh, that's gonna take a lot of production though. We can grow the population more, which we are gonna do. I'm surprised, there should have been an event for migration. I don't think we had that. Maybe it doesn't happen if you actually complete the darn integration. Dang it. Maybe I shot myself in the foot here then. So 2-1 tile out there too. I will keep this for now. Once you start the construction of something, you can't cancel it, which is kind of unfortunate. Uh-oh. And there's the first random event, the first sandstorm. The settlement has suffered from a previously unfamiliar scourge, the sandstorm. Migrants have told us that this is a manifestation of the rage of the evil god of the desert, Seth. Some areas are damaged. It's okay with this one being damaged, that doesn't matter to me at all. This one being damaged really, really hurts. You can't build this turn because we're not going to have enough hammers, we'll need to repair that. Instead, you're going to go and farm this area while we have the greening event. Or maybe even this. 3 extra food. Why won't you? I thought I had a worker there. Okay. There we go. Yeah, rectangular homes in area 2. It doesn't actually reduce your population cap though, so... Field of Flax area 3. And if you build something new on top of this, it'll automatically repair it, which is kind of funny. Discoveries. Build price reduction or more hammers. This is remarkably useful. 350. I don't know. Well, these are kind of cool too, though. 350. How much do we have? So that's going to take another 4 turns. I'm going to do that simply because it boosts culture. So might as well grab it earlier. That means our production is going to suffer until then, but I think that's okay-ish. And we're going to wait one more turn. Actually, we can grow population again. It is turn 69 now, though, so we have 20 turns. Yeah, I need the population to actually work the tiles and stuffs. I need to make you my friend as well. It isn't quite so hammer intensive, I might as well do that now. And we'll start integrating these 2 other tribes fairly soon. If I can spare the hammers. The repair is going to be done next turn. This is the greening event. There we go. Field of Flax has been repaired. Greening of the Sahara is over. And I need to consider what we're going to do next. We are going to go and build that. You are going to farm this. There we go. Maybe it's time to start exploring. I think it is. I want to explore up and down the Nile. Just to get an impression of what we're dealing with. Settlement. Yeah, we're still going to go with the next... attack there. So we'll see what happens there. We're losing a lot of production right now. 2 turns this is going to be over. So that's fine. Then we'll see what we do. Then I need to save up production to integrate these 2 tribes, I think. But now we can trade trade for production too, if we wanted to. Don't think I want to though. At any rate, I think I'm going to take a short break here, and we will see if we can start building up towards the next trial next time. Thank you for watching.